So good afternoon everybody. Thank you Ankit for that insightful deep dive into what really drives us at ideaForge. And you also showed already the real world impact that our products are making. My name is Pradeep Pandurangi. I am part of the product team. And now I will take you through some of the nitty-gritty details of how all of these products that were launched, they work together to make a seamless workflow and actually deliver high resolution geospatial data at scale. We looked at our product pyramid, and right on top we have FLYGHT CLOUD. FLYGHT CLOUD is our central hub where all types of drone data is stored, analyzed, and can be shared. On FLYGHT CLOUD, we have solutions for 3D digital twins, for mining, for power utilities, forest management, and also homeland security. So what makes FLYGHT CLOUD really unique is these three things. The first one is that it's hosted on Government Community Cloud, GCC. That's the highest tier of safety and security that you can get. The second is the types of data, whether it's mapping data or video data. Now you don't have to work with multiple tools. FLYGHT CLOUD can solve all of your data needs in exactly one place and one seamless UI. And finally, all of the analytics that we have on FLYGHT CLOUD are tested and verified by us. So you don't have to spend even one day in deployment. You can get started the very first day that you deploy FLYGHT CLOUD. FLYGHT CLOUD is also now self-serve, so you can go, log in, create an account, and there are 120 free credits for you to explore the platform and start using it. The next tier was the payloads, and with Q6 V2 GEO, we have launched several new payloads. We talk about LiDAR. We have launched not one, but two types of LiDARs. The LXT is made for productivity and precision, whereas the LAV is for those who want to do simultaneous LiDAR and photogrammetry capture. We have the oblique payload M3D, which has an onboard IMU that helps to make the geotagging very, very precise, and that reduces the processing time that you require and also makes the data very, very accurate. Our M24 and Naksh Duo payloads are built on our strong legacy of building high performance mapping and EOIR payload. And you already saw the launch of M61, which is the latest and greatest in terms of AI capable payloads. But how do all these products come together and expand the new use cases? Right? All of these payloads come together, but they are sometimes not enough. We talk about expanding the capabilities similar to FLYGHT CLOUD, how we expand the capabilities with third-party software integrations. On the payload side, we also have a payload development kit which expands the possibilities on collecting different types of data, from hyperspectral, multispectral to radiometric thermal, and also Centum LifeSeeker payload. Now the possibilities are endless. But how does all of this come together? All of this comes together with our BFT, which is the Blue Fire Touch command and control software, and delivers end outcomes to customers. And I'm going to explain that with a few product stories of how we envision our geospatial technology stack working together and delivering customer outcomes. Let's have a look. Let's start with 3D mapping in cities. The urban population is growing at an unprecedented pace. Municipalities and government bodies need data to manage that and give a great experience to the residents. 3D digital twins are a great method to deliver that. And Q6 V2 GEO brings the complete solution. With the flexible flight planning options, you can have multiple types of flight plan that can go on and really give you that crisp data capture that's required for creating these detailed models. You can follow the terrain more precisely. You can have variable GSD and various altitude flying options. And you can also have multiple polygons that you can define in a single flight. And the UAV goes and follows that automatically. But it's not just about data capture. In congested cities, it's important to maintain safety while flying an autonomous mapping mission. Bluefire Touch is our GCS software where you can define no-fly zones, and you can also define obstacles with different heights. It gives you complete control and peace of mind when flying. Sometimes there are software, in a congested urban environment, there are sometimes line of sight issues. We have both a hardware and software solution for that. On the software side, we have Nav Plus mode that lets you continue the flight plan for some time if there is a temporary obstruction like a tree or a building. On the hardware side, we have a high-rise tripod which you can use if there are too many obstacles around and you're still not getting enough communication. On an oblique payload, we have, like I said, integrated IMU on board. Now that allows YPR tagging to a very precise degree. That helps, as you might know, if you have processed 3D data, it takes a long time to process. With this precise YPR tagging, the processing time can reduce a lot. Also, the absolute accuracy that you get increases. And finally, when you have multiple data sets, they can be merged and aligned properly and easily. If you look at the universe of oblique payloads available and the solution that we are bringing to the table, Q6 V2 GEO really competes with a lot of hybrid fixed VTOLs. The flight time that it gives is really unprecedented. Back. Okay. The YPR tagging, again, like I mentioned, you get the highest quality of data in the fastest possible time. So Q6 V2 GEO is really cannot be compared to a commercial quadcopter because it's really in a different category, as you see here from this comparison. Let's go next to see a mine use case where the environment is always changing. When you want to do data capture, hardware and software integration is very, very important. The M24 gives you survey grade output, and it can do more than 2 square kilometers in a single flight with absolute accuracy of 10 centimeters in XY and 20 centimeters in Z. In a mine, it is very important to keep consistent resolution. And we have in BFT a feature to upload custom maps, digital elevation maps, which can be then used for terrain following. So you can follow the terrain very precisely and capture the data at consistent resolution. And finally, with Map Assist and Flight Cloud, you have one-click automation where the pilot just collects, after landing, he just puts in the raw data to Map Assist, clicks one button for geotagging, and Flight Cloud takes care of the rest. Right from photogrammetry to the analytics to the report creation is completely automated on Flight Cloud. And that makes a seamless experience. We put this to the test in a mine which was half a square kilometer, where we were collecting data not once but twice in a day and delivering outputs in less than 12 hours. Now let's look at power utilities, another important sector where drones are having a huge impact. It's very difficult to get power to every nook and corner of the country, but maintaining them is another level of challenge. Vegetation management is one of the key problems that our customers have been telling us about, and we have been deploying our drones to solve them. Our LiDAR payloads can fly in very narrow valleys and deliver the point density required to capture the thinnest of power lines. You can also do simultaneous LiDAR and photogrammetry flights with our LAV payload for those who want to do better classification of the LiDAR point clouds. Another slide over here which shows the power of quadcopter mapping solution, where we have the complete flexibility on the speed of the platform. If you want to capture a larger area, you can fly faster and be as productive as a fixed wing VTOL. But if you want to capture very dense point clouds in an extremely vegetated area, you have to slow down. And here with LAV, you see the comparison with fixed wing VTOL. It really is giving almost 4 times more point density when you're flying 5 meters per second. One of the most important things that Ankit touched upon was airborne data relay. Sometimes there are hills and obstacles that you just cannot move. So what do? You put another drone in the sky. With airborne data relay, all of that over the hill operation that you would want to do, whether it's LiDAR mapping close to the terrain or inspection of power lines, is now enabled. Once again, we see over here that the flight time that Q6 V2 GEO offers is really cannot be compared with commercial quadcopters. We are really at the productivity level can be compared to a fixed wing VTOL on one hand. At the same time, if a mission requires you to fly lower and slower, we have that option as well. It really is a tool that can be used in any situation, anywhere, in any terrain. Now let's talk about plantation monitoring. Our forestry customers are some of the most demanding customers. They want a lot of data and different types of data. So we have a solution for them where we had to expand our PDK and integrate a hyperspectral sensor. A RGB sensor can do a lot, from tree counting to topographical map to enrichment analysis. But sometimes it's just not enough. You have to do more. Sometimes you need a LiDAR that can fly slower and give you the terrain model in detail when you want to do drainage analysis. Or a hyperspectral which can give you vegetation analysis, whether it's plant health, soil quality, or diseases. We have a session later in the day where there is a deep dive from our partners going into the use case of how to use a hyperspectral sensor on a drone. So please stay back for that as well. Let's not forget the security use cases. The security use cases are very important, as we see a lot of deployment has already happened, and sometimes it is statewide. Some top level decision makers have painstakingly deployed drones all across their state and various units. But what do they do with that data? How do we elevate that from just using drone video data as a tactical tool to take immediate decisions, and actually use that as an analytical tool that can give you insights to help make strategic decisions? We have a solution with FLYGHT CLOUD for that. It starts with a geotagged video from Bluefire Touch, and then seamlessly uploading that data onto FLYGHT CLOUD, which now can become a video data management tool. On FLYGHT CLOUD, incidents can be tagged, either manually, and in the future we are going to add a lot more AI automation there as well. With all of these incidents tags and videos cataloged, we create hotspot maps for analysis, which can be used by the decision makers to make strategic level decisions. All of that is enabled in a seamless automated way with Bluefire Sync, because when you have maybe 5 different deployments in 5 different districts, the pilots may not remember to upload the data to FLYGHT CLOUD every day. With Bluefire Sync, at the end of the day, they just need to connect the laptop to internet, and at the end of the day, all the data will be seamlessly uploaded to FLYGHT CLOUD. We spoke a lot about impact today, and this story is all about impact. Our M61, which can do real-time image analytics, we are looking at the first use case, which is search and rescue. We already spoke about the specifications of M61, the high resolution sensor, the very, very powerful and capable AI chip, and the IP54 rating, and it can work up to plus 50 degrees ambient temperature as well. But really, how can we put it to use? We are looking at first use case that we are developing is for search and rescue. In case of disasters, you have to go and search and find people, so humans, and you want to sometimes detect vehicles if there are people who are lost. And that's what we are working on. Paired with Switch V2, SHODHAM M61 can in one image capture a third of a square kilometer. With that and the lens combination that we have, we can detect humans when it's 3 centimeter per pixel and vehicles from 10 centimeter per pixel. One flight of Switch V2 with SHODHAM will cover 20 square kilometers. And here is a glimpse of how we see this solution coming to you. Serve new use cases. We have been seeing a demand from various kinds of customers. Apart from search and rescue, the next thing that we are developing is also image analytics for high stakes mapping missions. When there is a high stakes mapping mission, you don't want to do multiple sorties and you don't want to waste time. So the same AI that we are developing can be used for image analytics. For example, it can do blur detection, fog detection. If there are pink streaks coming up on the images, those can be detected. So when M61 is paired with a quadcopter for high stakes mapping missions, you can get an alert in the GCS in real time. And hence you won't waste time, especially with our high endurance platforms. You don't want the drone to fly for 2 hours collecting data and images that are not of good quality, that can't be stitched together. So going ahead, we see that there are going to be many more stories. These are just some of them that I presented. With Q6 V2 GEO and its complete platform and package that we deliver, we hope you will create more stories in the days to come. At ideaForge, we have a product philosophy to push the envelope of performance, reliability, and autonomy. And I hope to have convinced you that we have done this with the latest launch of products that we have had today. Thank you so much. And by the way, one last thing. I want to leave by showing a great story about heritage. M61 has been used also to map the ancient Ratnagiri petroglyphs. Now this is a collective heritage, not just of India, but of the world. Let's have a look, please.
Before we spoke, we carved. Before we wrote, we remembered with stone. High on these rocky plateaus, beneath centuries of wind and rain, lie the forgotten stories of a people who once walked this land long before us. For thousands of years, these stories lay silent until someone noticed. We don't know their names, but they left us something etched into the earth, a memory, a message, a mystery. Today, we return to listen. With the silence of flight and the eyes of the sky, we begin to map what time tried to erase. This is not about machines. It's about memory and giving the past a shape so the future can remember. Each line, carved in stone, now mapped with light, preserved in data for generations that may never walk these lands. To some, they are stories of gods. To others, voices of ancestors across time. Across continents, we find the same hand, the same instinct. To remember, to draw, to leave a mark behind. What they left was never meant to vanish. With every flight, we remember a little more. Before we spoke, we carved.